Now, when we say that eugenics is the science of well-born, now how can you achieve this concept of being born good or being well-born? Now, there are two ways by which we can achieve this good genes in a gene pool. Now, the first one is by improving the existing race. See, when we talk about society, people are already existing in the society. So you cannot always focus on the future generation that is coming up. That is the other aspect of it. Now, how do you modify the qualities of a people who are already existing in a population? That is what means when we say by improving the existing race. Now, how do you achieve this? You can achieve this by improving the environmental conditions in which a person is surviving, right? So now here, what do you mean when we talk about environmental conditions? It means improve or enhance the better nutrition, okay? Give them good quality food, increase their nutritional level, education, give education to all the individuals who are there in the society so that they know what is good and what is bad, and provide them unpolluted ecological conditions so that they keep up their good health, and provide sufficient medical facility. Now, it is quite obvious that when persons or any population, when it is treated to all these three, when you put them on better nutrition, provide them education, tell them what is right or what is wrong, and give them or let them live in unpolluted conditions, and when you give them sufficient medical facility, obviously their genes get modified, or they will show up these good characters as individuals in a society. There's one more concept like genes are the ones which inherits character, but these genes can, or these characters can always be modified with the help of these environmental conditions, and that is what we are talking about in this point. Fine. So when you enhance the or when you improve the living criteria of any individual in a population, certainly you can modify their genes to become good or to behave good. And this concept of improvising the existing race is what is called as eugenics. Right? So what does eugenics is all about? Eugenics is a science wherein you tend to improve the existing population by providing them the better environmental conditions, like providing them with better nutrition, education, unpolluted ecological conditions, and providing them the sufficient medical facility. And this concept is what we call as eugenics. Right? Now, on the other hand, you have one more possibility wherein you can improve the future generations, the generations which are yet to be born, the generations which are yet to come up. Even you can monitor how these genes can be propagated so that you get the best of the genes in your gene pool. Now, how do you achieve this? This can be achieved by improving the germplasm of the existing individuals, because the existing individuals are the one which are going to get married and contribute to the formation of new genes or introduction of new genes in the gene pool. So this concept or this process of improving the germplasm of the existing individuals in order to get the better one in future is what is called as eugenics. Right? Now, what is eugenics? It is the science wherein you tend to improve the future generations by improving or enhancing the germplasm of the existing individuals so that they contribute to some good genes to the gene pool. Now, how do you achieve this concept of eugenics? Like, what do you do to see that more of good genes is contributed into the society or to the gene pool? Now, the first thing is, it involves artificial selection of physically and mentally sound individuals. Okay? Whoever is physically fit and mentally fit, they are promoted to undergo, or they are encouraged to contribute more genes to the society, whereas it involves discouragement of defective individuals. Now, when we say defective individuals, who are these defective individuals? As earlier we have discussed, they are the ones which contain negative characters in them. For example, the one who does not live in a good environmental conditions, who does not have proper physical fitness, and who is not mentally sound or mentally fit. When such kind of individuals, when they reproduce, they contribute to a lot of negative genes into the gene pool. So such kind of propagation of characters is being discouraged, so that there is no inheritance of that defective germ plasm into the gene pool. So these are the two main areas where eugenics will work with. Now, what is the main aim of this eugenics? What are you trying to do by doing these two things? Now, when you encourage or when you artificially select the physically and mentally sound individuals, and when you discourage the marriage of these defective individuals, you tend to preserve the best germplasm. Okay, only the persons with good characters, they tend to reproduce, they are allowed to reproduce, so that more of good genes flow into the gene pool. Thereby their best germplasm is preserved, and that results in elimination of defective germplasm from human society. And how could you achieve this? By applying the laws of genetics, or by applying the laws of inheritance, which is nothing but our eugenics. Understood? I hope I have put across the concept very simply and rightly. So eugenics mainly aims at artificial selection of physically and mentally sound individuals, and it discourages the marriage between defective individuals, so that they should not contribute their defective germplasm into the gene pool. So the main aim of, or what is achieved through this eugenics, is preservation of best germplasm and elimination of defective germplasm from the human society by applying the laws of inheritance, or by applying the laws of genetics, which mainly talks about eugenics. Fine? Now, when these things were going on, A.C. Pye in 1974, he demonstrated the symptomatic treatment of genetic disorders in man, especially the IEMs, that is inborn error of metabolism, which you have already studied. Now, what did we learn in this inborn errors of metabolism? We learned that the individual will show lack of one particular enzyme, or there's a missing of some enzyme, because of which a particular amino acid will not undergo complete metabolism, and hence resulting in a disease. For example, we will take an example of phenylketonuria. Now, what happened in this phenylketonuria? Enzyme phenylketonuria hydroxylase was missing. It goes missing because of the defective gene, that is PKU gene, and because of that the phenylalanine metabolism was incomplete, which led to accumulation of phenylalanine and its derivatives, which in turn resulted in mental retardation. Right? Now here what he suggested was, A.C. Pye, he suggested that these missing enzymes, now these defective individuals are already there in the society, and there is a way by which you can improvise these, or you can work on these defective individuals by doing some kind of correction to their physiology. Now, what is this correction that we are putting? We are trying to intake this missing enzyme. Okay. In this case, what is the missing enzyme? Phenylalanine hydroxylase. When this particular enzyme is missing, you induce this enzyme into the system so that an individual can metabolize phenylalanine as usual, so that the metabolism of phenylalanine will take place and you may not show the symptoms of this phenylketonuria, right? And we also said that these are homozygous recessive in inheritance. That means when they have two defective genes in homozygous condition, then only these diseases will get expressed. Remember, we said they are homozygous recessive in inheritance. We wrote two small p's when we wrote the metabolism of this phenylalanine chart. Now, so what he suggested is when you intake this missing enzyme, that brings in a correction in the metabolism of phenylalanine, thereby correcting this disease phenylketonuria. Now, a similar kind of suggestions were also suggested for cure of inherited anemia like in your sickle cell anemia and in Cooley's anemia or thalassemia. Now what happened here, they started to increase the role of genetics, or they promoted the use of genetics in medicine so that such kind of inborn errors can be corrected. Now this concept, which involves a slight correction to this inborn error of metabolism, which in turn improves the quality of the living individuals, is what is termed as euphenics. Understood? Don't get confused between these two terms. This is euthenics, which includes the improving of the race by improving the environmental conditions. Euphenics deals with improving the quality of an existing individuals by bringing in some kind of corrections to their metabolic activity so that they can come out of their disorders, right? Now I'll give you one simple tip to remember these two terms. Here euthenics means it is concerned with environmental conditions, EN, and here also you find EN, euthenics. So environment and environmental. Here it is euphenics. Phenix, PHE corresponds to phenylketonuria. So you can connect these two words and remember these two terms. Fine? Right. Now, there is one major drawback of this euphenics, and it is considered to be a little more serious also. I'll tell you how it is. Now here what we are trying to do, we are trying to improvise a syndromic individuals by giving him some kind of correction to his metabolic pathway. Then what happens, this will not completely eliminate the disease from him, but he can manage to live with that disease. Now when the symptoms settles down, when the symptoms slows down, when it won't get expressed, the person may not look like, completely mentally retarded, but still he'll have some effect of this homozygous recessiveness in him. And when he tend to reproduce, he or she, whatever it is, when that particular individual, when they undergo the process of reproduction, then what will happen, they allow the flow of these defective genes into the gene pool. For example, if a person with this PKU disease who has undergone this kind of correction, when he marries a normal person or a normal spouse, then what happens? The future generations, whatever is born, they will be the carriers of this disease, right? So when they become carriers, what are we doing? We are introducing more and more of carriers in the population. So thereby, are we achieving this signs of well-born? No. So this is the major drawback of euphenics, wherein it has the chances of introducing more carrier of this harmful mutation in the gene pool, so that this will add to the genetic load and weaken the human species from evolutionary point of view. Now what do we mean when we say it weaken the human species? More and more of this kind of reproduction occurs. There is a propagation of more of this mutant gene into the gene pool, and that keeps on transferring from one generation to the other generation. So as a whole, what you are doing, you are bringing down the eugenic or the good value of the genes in the gene pool, right? So this is the major drawback of eugenics. Otherwise, this was a good concept that was proposed by A.C. Pai, right? So you have learned what is eugenics and what does it stand for, what are the aim or the principles of eugenics and how you can achieve it, what is euthenics and how it can be practiced, and you also learned about one more term, the euphenics, and how it can be achieved and what is the major drawback of euphenics, right?